Yes. Hello everyone, my name is Truman, but you can call me Elizabeth. Today I would like to practice English by myself. And the first part I will practice about creativity. The second I will read it and then I will listening. And the first part is about creativity. Mm. What is what is creativity? Creativity is the act of turning new and imaginative ideas into reality. Creativity is characterized by the ability to perceive the world in new ways, to hidden patterns, to make connection between uh, seemingly unrelated phenomena and to generate solutions. Creativity involves to process thinking than production. And in another way, uh, well, creativity is the way of living life that embraces originally, originality, 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 and makes unique connection between seemingly disparate ideas. Creativity is about living life as a journey into seeing and communicating the extraordinary of the simplest, most everyday act, 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 and how much important creativity in our life. Creativity is very important in our life because it makes life more interesting and feel fulfilling. fulfilling. How can we develop creativity and apply it in our life? Creativity begin with a foundation of knowledge. Creativity begin with a foundation of knowledge, learning a discipline, and mastering a way of thinking. You can learn to be creating by experimenting, exper- experimenting, questioning, assumption, using imagination, and synthesizing information. Learning to be creative is akin to learning a sport. It requires practice to develop the right muscle and supportive environment in which the flourish. Your your ability to generate involved ideas is not merely a function of the mind, but also a function of five key behavior that optimize your brain for discovery. Uh, uh, five, five ways to develop Try to develop creativity. Number one, associating. Associating. Number two, questioning. Number four, observing. Observing. Number four, networking. And number five, experimenting. Experimenting. Creativity allows us to view and solve problems more openly. With innovation, creativity opens the mind. A society that has a touch with insight in an embracement, a society that generation of people may use love, muscle, and border our project can help us. And I just sharing you about creativity. Mm. And today I have just the meeting of the Chinese after holiday, and now we have to pass into the second part. That's mean of reading some book. Yes. Today we have to find about Bill Gates, co-founder Microsoft, co-chair to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I don't think it's important for me to remember specifically. I do hope that infectious disease is not really eliminated as a problem, so that nobody is having to talk about it and people can focus on other issues. That would be a huge victory for most of the past quarter centuries. Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft, have been the world's wealthiest individual. And for more than the past decade, he had also been, with his wife, the world's largest philanthropist, working principally through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. As a result of this activity, he has also become one of the world's best known and most admired individuals. The story is well known but continues to fascinate. Bill was a computer and software nerd who dropped out of Harvard in 1975 to start Witchpile Island, a company to provide the software to power the computers anyone would soon possess. Bill's brilliancy, workaholic, dedication to the mission. Microsoft, the world's most significant software company, with a market value of more than $1 trillion, and a recency in virtually every person's computer. Bill has now applied those skills in the mission of philanthropy, leading the effort to improve how in the least developed countries the interactive aim with lead him to receive warning about pandemic and improve K-12 education in the US, while also starting with Melinda and with Warren Buffett. The Giving Pledge initiative for the work watches individuals. The Giving Pledge is a commitment by individuals with a net worth of at least $1 billion to give away during their lifetime or upon death, at least half their net worth. Despite his high IQ to revenue rate, none of these were predictable when Bill was a youth. Who could have foreseen, with the rise of personal computer and software, the building of one of the world's most successful companies, or the accumulation in individual wealth based on anything since the day of the John D. Rockefeller. No one, as Bill, would be the first to admit. So how did it all come together this way? His unrivaled success seemed to be due to a combination of vision, intellect, right, and focus. Many individuals have one or two of those elements, but few have all four. Which of the elements is actually the most significant? In Bill's case, it was the vision that personal computer would become omnipresent, that every one of them would need software. Bill saw that it was the software that would become more valuable than the hardware. It is clear a brilliant, driven individual who would be successful at almost any activity in which broad intellectual processing power, hard work, and focus are likely to lead to success. Whether another activity would have produced the level of wage or philanthropic pinnacle cannot be known. What now the period had been, for at least the past quarter century, one of the world's best battery-packed individuals and the subject of any interest. I first met Bill when he came to my office in Washington on March 11, 2010, to talk about philanthropy, and the Zoom table announced Giving Pledge. Having Bill Gates come to your office for the simple cheeseburger can walk with some attention in the office hallway. Bill is not a publicity seeker, and he does not really talking about how he has accomplished what he has achieved, but he provides some insight in this interview held in June 2016 in his personal office in the Seattle area. David Rupenton, you built one of the rich technology companies of the world, one of the rich companies of the world. Now you're building operating one of the rich foundations. How do you compare the challenge of building Microsoft to the challenge of running the Bill Media Gates Foundation, which were more difficult and with a more less durable? Bill Gates, they have more in common than people may expect. The idea that you find an innovation, really stick to it, build a team behind it, has some setback and success. The theory of change. My Microsoft work were when I was very young. I started when I was 17. It was my primary focus until I was 53. Then I made the transition to working full-time with the foundation. The early part of that, I was kind of maybe. Busy the weekend until I was about 30. For early part of this, I was kind of maniacal. I wasn't married, had no kids. I didn't believe in weekends until I was about 30. I didn't believe in vacation at all. It was incredibly fulfilling to ride the cart and be hands-on, stay up. Yeah, I think I will stop the reading here and I will listening. Will part on listening and then we and then
Section 1.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Is this, room number 26?
Yes, that's right.
So, is this the Student Job Centre?
It certainly is. How can I help you?
Well, actually, I'm looking for a job. A part-time job. Do you have anything available at the moment?
Yes. Are you a registered student? I'm afraid this service is only available to full-time students.
Yes, I am. I'm doing a degree in business studies. Here's my student card.
Which year are you in?
Well, I've been at uni for 4 years, but I'm in the 3rd year because I took last year off.
Right. Well, let's just have a look at what positions are available at the moment. There's a job working at the reception desk at the sports centre for 3 evenings a week. That's Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays.
Oh, that sounds like fun, but unfortunately I have evening lectures, so that's not possible, I'm afraid. Is there anything during the day?
OK, that's no good then. What about cleaning? There's a position for a cleaner at the childcare centre.
Right.
But you'd need to be there at 6 a.m. Does that appeal?
6 o'clock in the morning? Oh, that's far too early for me, I'm afraid. I'd never make it that early in the morning.
Well, there was a position going in the computer lab for 3 days a week that might be okay. Here it is. No, it's in the library, not the lab. Clerical assistant required. I think it mostly involves putting the books back on the shelves. Oh no, hang on. It's for Wednesday and Friday evenings again.
No, I can't manage that because of the lectures.
OK, I'm getting the idea. Look, I'll just get a few details from you anyway, and then we can check through the list and see what comes up. We'll fill in the personal details on this application form first, if that's OK.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, what's your name again?
Anita Newman. That's Newman.
And your address, Anita?
I'm in one of the halls of residence for postgraduate students. You know, International House.
OK, that's easy. What's your room number there?
Room B569. No, sorry, B659. I always get that wrong. I haven't been living there very long.
Do you have any other skills? Typing, languages, that sort of thing?
Well, I speak some Japanese.
Right, I'll make a note of that. Now, let's see what else is available. What do you think of administrative work? There's a position for an office assistant at the English Language Centre.
That sounds interesting.
It's for 3 days a week, Monday, Friday and Saturday mornings. Interested?
I was hoping to have Saturdays free, but I need the work, so... Can you tell me what the job involves?
Yep, sure. It says here that you'll be required to deal with student inquiries and answer the phone.
I'm sure I can handle all that without a problem.
Great. Well, would you like me to arrange an interview for you? Say Friday morning around 10?
Can we make it a bit later? Unfortunately, I've got something to do at 10. Would that be okay?
Not a problem. How about 11:30? Hope it works out for you, Anita.
Me too. And thanks for all your help.
Section 2.
Good morning. I'm very pleased to have been invited along to your club to talk about our charity-sponsored walking holiday for education aid. I'll start by giving you a brief overview of what it entails. First of all, let me explain what we mean by sponsored here. This is where people promise to donate money to the charity if you achieve your goal, in this case to walk a certain number of miles. Basically, we are organising a 10-day holiday from the 6th to the 16th of November, with 8 days actual walking, trekking in the Samira Mountains. Let's have a look at some of the details. We require you to raise sponsorship money of at least $3,200, paying $250 of it up front as a deposit, and the rest in stages throughout the year. Out of this, about 35% will go on your expenses, and that leaves 65% guaranteed to go to the charity. Which brings me to the most important part. This trek is being specifically organised to help education in the Samira region. Last year we helped train teachers for the disabled, and this year we're focusing on the pupils. Each of the walkers' sponsorship money will go to help an individual special needs pupil in one of the mountain schools. In the second part of the talk, I'll be giving you a lot more details. But back to the basic information. Age limits. This is the second time we've run this kind of holiday, and on the first we even had an 80-year-old. But we found it was wise to establish limits this time. You have to be at least 18, and the top limit is now 70, though you need to obtain a health certificate from your doctor if you are over 60 years old. Now, the Samira Mountains are among the highest in the world, but you mustn't be too daunted. We will mainly be trekking in the foothills only, although there will be spectacular views even in the foothills. However, you will need to be extremely fit if you aren't now and you're interested in coming with us. You have plenty of time to get into shape. You'll be sleeping in tents, so you must have quite a bit of equipment with you, but you will be helped by local assistants. Your bedding and so forth will be carried by them. We ask that you only walk with a small rucksack with needs for the day. I don't think I've really said enough about the marvellous area you'll be walking in. Let's have a look at some of the sights you'll be seeing. Apart from these spectacular snow-covered peaks and valleys, there are marvellous historic villages. The area has been famous for centuries for making beautiful carpets, although recently there has been a trend to move into weaving blankets and wood carving. The people are extremely friendly and welcoming. We deliberately keep the party small in size to minimize disruption to people and landscape. I hope that there are still some people interested. I will be distributing leaflets at the end where you can find out more information. But just for the moment, I'll outline the itinerary, the main high points of the holiday. Obviously, you'll start by flying out to Kishbar, the capital city, on day 1. After a couple of days to acclimatize yourself, you'll start the trek on day 3, walking through the enormous Katiba forest, which will take the whole of the day. Day 4 takes us higher up, going through the foothills, past a number of villages, and visiting a school for the disabled in Sohan. Then you have a rest day, that's day 5, before going to the spectacular Kumi Temple, with 12th century carvings, set in a small forest by a lake, and that's day 6, the highlight for many. We stay near there for day 7, because then comes the hardest day, walking through very mountainous country, but culminating in a swim in the Pate Falls. This is the highest waterfall in the region. Day 9 is much easier, with part of the day spent in a village where they make some of the gorgeous red blankets. Then back down to Kishbar and the journey home. So, you can see it's a pretty packed timetable.
Section 3.
Thanks to all of you for coming along today to hear about how the Robotic Float project is helping with ocean research. Well, first of all, we'll look at what a robotic float does and its use. So let's start with the device itself. It looks a bit like a cigar, and it's about 1.5 meters long. More importantly, it's full of equipment that's designed to collect data. So it can help us in building up a profile of different factors which work together within the world's oceans.
Sounds like a big project. Isn't it too big for one country to undertake?
That's quite true, but this project is a really good example of international cooperation. Over the last 5 years, scientists from 13 countries have been taking